The death toll from the tropical cyclone Freddy continues to rise as heavy rains trigger more flooding and mudslides. More than 200 people had been killed in Mozambique and Malawi. CGTN's Wanja Mungai takes a look at the situation in Malawi, where the majority of deaths have been reported.
Heavy rains have lashed Malawi since Cyclone Freddy hit southern Africa again on Saturday. Dozens of people have died in mudslides that washed away homes in and around the country's commercial capital, Blantyre.
You see, this area here was occupied by houses. The whole area here, from up there, and people are gone. People are gone, things are gone, everything is gone. It's going down, it's going down. From up there, going down. It was just a nucleated area. There were plenty of houses, but they are all gone.
President Lazarus Chakwera on Tuesday declared a state of disaster in 10 of the hardest hit southern districts. The damage on infrastructure has been hampering relief efforts.
The roads are hampering our efforts to reach out. Indeed, people are asking for helicopters, but people must know that even helicopters require a certain type of environment for them to operate. What is happening now that even in some areas, helicopters may not even be able to reach. But we have tried to send boats. 5 boats have already gone out there. The military is always there. We have a command center where we are able to see and detect what type of support to send to the people.
Many people are now sheltering in schools where they are relying on aid from humanitarian agencies.
Having seen the continued impact of the cyclone, we have extended the period in which learners are to stay away from schools by an additional 2 days. Roads and bridges have been damaged, and in addition, some schools are being used to provide shelter to victims, some of whom are parents and teachers. As such, schools cannot open in such a scenario. This decision will help people recover as we also assess the situation.
Across the country, nearly 59,000 people have been affected and more than 19,000 displaced. Calls are continuing for the international community to provide more aid and step up rescue efforts. Wanja Mungai, CGTN.
Well, let's cross over to Sugzo Chitete. He's joining us from Lilongwe in Malawi. He's a local journalist based there. Hi there, Sugzo. You know, Cyclone Freddy has brought much despair in Malawi. What's the latest on the impact of this tropical storm?
Well, I would say, according to a report that has just come out 20 minutes ago, the death toll is now at 225 deaths. Of course, 88,312 have been displaced and 707 are injured, with 41 reported missing. As we are talking now, the situation is still it's still worse. Of course, there's an assurance from the Department of Meteorological Services where they're saying the storm has actually died down. And indeed, in Blantyre, the skies have kind of cleared, bringing hope that probably the storm could be over. Of course, there's still a warning from the Meteorological Department that it's in an unlikely circumstance. We may still have the rains continuing.
So what kind of assistance is needed to effectively respond to this tragedy?
So there's quite a lot of things that are needed. As we are talking now, government has set up about 165 camps in the 10 districts affected. And what is needed immediately, I think, are tents from the list from a priority list. There is also need for sleeping mats, clothes, blankets, dignity kits, and indeed food. And reports are also showing that there is preferential treatment. Those that have been affected in the commercial capital of Blantyre seem to have an upper hand because there are more donors going to these places compared to Blantyre rural and other districts that have been affected. But government says it is on top of the game and it is providing the much needed support to all those that have been affected in Blantyre and other parts. But I should also mention that the situation remains west in the lower Shire, where the statistics do not really seem to come so quickly, because roads have also been cut, also making it difficult for those that can provide support to move from Blantyre or other parts to go to places like Chikwawa and Nsanje. So this is also one of the issues that has emerged as a challenge. And of course, government says there are boats that have been used, and people are also calling on the choppers or helicopters from the Malawi Defense Force to come in handy.
And Sugzo, what are weather officials saying about the trajectory of Cyclone Freddy? Has the worst of it passed yet?
That's what the director of the Department of Meteorological Services indicated, that the storm has kind of died down in Blantyre and it's heading back to Mozambique. And of course, it may affect a few areas, but not with the same intensity as it was yesterday. And they are projecting or forecasting that by tomorrow, it should really completely died down. But as we are talking, there are also some districts which are still experiencing some rains, and houses have been destroyed. Early this morning, we heard of places like Parombe, Chiradzuru, where the damage seemed to continue. And well, this is the talk from the Department of Meteorological Services. There's still that fear, panic, and anxiety among community members. And we are yet to see exactly how government intend to act between now when the skies seem to have cleared and probably tomorrow. President Lazarus Chakwera is expected to visit some of the camps and also make a national address later in the day too. So probably after that, we may have a picture if government wants to act differently in between now and tomorrow when the cyclone is expected to completely leave Malawi.
All right, Sugzo Chitete joining us there from Lilongwe in Malawi.